Today I'm going to show you how to get amazingly clean, punchy bass out of your kick drum with only your mixer, no extra equipment required. And this technique is a lifesaver, especially if your drums sound bad or maybe you don't have a good kick mic or I don't know, for some reason the kick drum is closed, there's no hole in it. Whatever your reason may be for not having good bass, this will solve it. And you probably have never thought about doing this. Are you ready? Okay, let's go to the buses. I'm assuming you have one empty bus that you're not using. You're gonna select that bus. Let's say it's bus number 12. And I'm gonna open the monitor section and go to the oscillator page and I'll select sine wave. The destination will be that bus, so mix bus 12. And I'll put the level at -18 and I'll turn it on. Now I have signal at -18 dB on bus number 12. And that signal is what? I want it to be 50 hertz or 60 hertz, which is the fundamental frequency of kick drums. If you have a lot of subs and you wanted to make it earth rumbling, shaky, punchy, you can go down to 40 hertz. That's up to you. The next step is I will put that bus on the main mix. So I'll select the bus and go to the main tab and turn on the main stereo button, the left-right button. If I turn it up right now, it's really annoying. Okay, it's just 60 hertz sine wave. If you're not using headphones or studio monitors, please do, because you will not be able to hear this through your phone speaker or tablet or laptop speakers. Now, what I want to do is I want just a short burst of 60 hertz. I don't want a constant sine wave like this. So what's the tool that can mute and unmute sounds? A gate. Now, do we have a gate on a bus? We don't. But we have a dynamics section in which there is a compressor that you can exchange for an expander, which with a high ratio becomes a gate. So I'm gonna click on expander and turn the ratio all the way up and lower the threshold. And I'm gonna also turn it on. So right now, if threshold is very high, I will not hear anything because the signal is not stronger than threshold to open the gate. But if I lower threshold, you can hear it. And what I want to do is I want another signal to open that gate. What will that signal be? The microphone on the kick drum that is bad or whatever it is. It can really just be whatever mic you have. Even you can place it in front of the pedal or wherever you want, as long as I'm getting some kind of clickiness or some kind of sound when the kick hits, we're good. So I'm gonna go here to the key source, and instead of self means it's listening to the channel itself to know if the gate should open or not. Instead of self, I will choose the channel that the kick mic is coming into. So let's say it's channel 1 that I have my mic plugged into. If I lower the threshold and I don't speak, you still can't hear anything from the kick drum because there's no signal from my mic to open the gate of that bus. But if I do speak, hey, 1, 2. You can hear it. Now this is still not very good because it sounds really soft. So I'll tweak the envelope of the gate. Attack, we want it as quick as possible, not 0 milliseconds because on this mixer 0 gives a ugly artifact. So I'm gonna put it at 1 millisecond, the fastest possible. And I'll raise the hold up to about 100 millisecond and the release also about 100. And if we try again, now we have deep bass. And that's really cool. And if you want the kick sound to be longer or shorter, you can move the hold. And if you want more or less sustain, you can change the release. But a good start would be 1 millisecond attack, 100 hold, 100 release. And also I can change the knee to 0, so it's more sharp. Let's try it. And with that, you get the clicky sound from your trashy mic wherever you want to place it, and you get the deep bass from the sine wave. And you mix those two together and you'll have amazing bass with the trashiest drum set or mic set or whatever you have. But it doesn't stop here. You have a trashy snare sound, or you don't have a bottom mic for the snare, you only have for the top, and it sounds really muffled and ugly, and you would like to have some more brightness to it, you can use pink noise. So let's try that out. I'm gonna turn down a little bit because pink noise sounds louder than a 50 hertz sine wave. So I'm gonna go to the monitor section and change it to pink noise and keep the level at -18 dB. I'll also go to the EQ and remove some of the low frequencies because we really don't need them for a snare sound. So I'm gonna do a low cut and remove everything below 400 hertz. Go back to the dynamics section. I still have my gate, and now I'll lower threshold again. And now you have the open brightness of the snare drum no matter how trashy your snare is. And if you mix that in just quiet enough to be there but not too loud, it makes a huge difference. Unfortunately, this mixer only has one oscillator, so you have to choose between kick and snare. You can't do both together. However, if you use an external tool like Reaper to generate some noise on your computer and connect it to the mixer, you can actually do this for all the drum set. Kick, snare, toms. Do you want to hear the toms? Let's hear the toms. I'm going to select sine wave again, and I'll do... Are you following along? You can specify the fundamental frequency of each drum and just use the higher frequencies from the tom to get the clickiness. And that way, it doesn't matter if the drummer knows how to tune the drum set. You can have your sound each time and it will be consistent. So let's open Reaper and I'm gonna create 5 new tracks, and I don't want any of them to have inputs because we're not recording anything. I want to generate some noise on them and send them to the mixer. So let me put the tone generator, turn down the dry mix, turn down the wet mix to -18, and the shape will be sine. And first one will be at 50 hertz. That will be the kick drum. Second track will be the snare. I'll do it with another plugin. Third track will be the rack tom. So I'm going to change the frequency to, let's say, 150 hertz. Next is the middle tom, and next is the floor tom, 75 hertz. And the snare, I want to give it pink noise, so I'll type pink. I'll turn down the noise level to -18. And now I still want to give them outputs. So kick will go to channel number, let's say 9. Add new hardware output, and it will be out 9. Snare, out 10. Rack tom, out 11. Middle tom, out 12, and floor tom output 13. And I'll go to my mixer and open the routing, and in the inputs I'm gonna give channels 9 to 16, card 9 to 16. So it's receiving the inputs from the mixer. You can see them right here, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and we can hear them. So let's put gates on all of them. I'll go to the gate section, turn on the gate, and turn up the threshold. Because channels have gates, I can use the gate section. I don't need to use the dynamics and switch it for an expander. So I'll do attack 1 millisecond, hold 100, and release 100 as a starting point. And the key source will be the appropriate channel. Because I'm only using one mic with my voice right now, I'll set it to the same channel. But if you have your drum mics, you will set each channel to the corresponding one. So I'm gonna give it channel 1 as a key source, as a side chain. Now this is too long, so I'm gonna turn down the hold a little bit and also turn down the release a little bit. Let's try again. Let me copy and paste this gate on the other channels. Isn't that wonderful? Now you don't have any more excuses for bad drum sound. I showed you how to fix literally any drums. Because if you think about it, sure, there is a tone for the drums and some drums sound amazing. But if you have really bad sounding drums or really bad sounding microphones and you want to fix it, at least you want to have the fundamental, the ring of the drum and the hit sound. You can get the hit sound from pretty much any microphone. It really doesn't make that much of a difference. But the fundamental sound, the boom, the ring, is really difficult to get sometimes. Especially if the drummer doesn't know how to tune the drums or just the drums sound bad. You literally can make magic with this. And of course, you need to pan those channels the same way that you're panning the microphones. And if you're using Mixing Station, you can actually make IDCAs to control both channels together on one fader. So let's open Mixing Station. You can go into a layer and edit it. And you can hit the plus button on the top right corner of the screen and add an IDCA. Target mix will be left, right. I'm gonna select these channels again. Go back. Now this IDCA controls both channels together. Sure, this method requires you to have some empty channels on your mixer, but if you just want the kick drum, just do the kick drum thing with only the mixer, and it would still be a huge improvement over having trash drums. And you might be asking yourself, hey Daniel, I want to record multi-tracks. I can't use Reaper just to send sound to the mixer. Well, guess what? You can do both. You can open another project in Reaper at the same time it will be working normally. Because Reaper is amazing, and if you're not using it yet, you're missing out. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, click on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.